This is Suspenders Unbuttoned podcast. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Julie.
Join us for unbuttoned and unedited conversations.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Suspenders Unbuttoned podcast. My name is Sarah.
And I'm Julie. And we're excited to welcome Max McGuire, director.
Hey,
Hi,
nice
Max.
to see you again.
We're so happy to have you back. Congratulations. You were married since we've seen you. Congratulations. Yes.
Just like in the movies.
Just like in the movies.
Just like in the movies. Well, those pictures, I know. We were both like, look at those pictures. It look like the movies.
You know, it was our very own fairy tale. It was nice. It was funny. We bought a house 2 blocks from the bar we met at. She bought me a drink at the bar and introduced herself, and all of a sudden, 2 years later, we're married in a house down the street.
Now, why isn't this a movie?
It would be a different kind of movie. You're talking about a hot-blooded half Greek and a hot-blooded Italian. This would be too real for the worlds we travel in.
The Italian girl here will probably be all in for this one.
Oh yeah. I'm sure it would ring true. It'd be the kind where like Bobby Cannavale guy has to kind of play me, and then she gets like a Marissa Tomei or a young Cher, and they're just like swatting at each other the whole time, like, "Hey, I told you."
I love it. Let's go. Let's do this. Let's just get it on the big screen. Let's just skip the little screen. Okay, let's get this one with the pictures.
I can flip the screen around, and you can just watch us run around this house for an hour or two, and we can save the money.
Free screener. This is how it goes. There's a lot of hand talking too, right?
Oh, you got to remind me later on when we talk about that other project. I got like a reality TV aspect to it.
Ooh.
Okay. Oh, really? That sounds really exciting.
I forgot about that till we talked about flipping the screen. I didn't even think about it before. Yeah.
That's fun. Well, yeah, don't let us forget to ask about that.
Okay. I'll ask myself.
You have permission to talk about everything you want to talk about because we are unbuttoned and we just want a conversation. So that's the best.
So you have, again, not 1, not 2, but 3 Christmas movies out this season. Is that like your lucky number? Do you always do them in 3s? Because last year when we chatted with you, you had 3 out.
You're right. It was 3 too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
2 Hallmark, 1 Lifetime last year.
Same this year, right?
Same this year. Yes. You know, I don't want to ruin a streak, so I'm gonna knock on fake marble.
Yeah, I got wood. I got some wood right here. Like
we got wood everywhere.
No, it's been crazy. We've all been, this whole industry in Canada specifically, we've been riding this wave of content. Obviously, the Canadian dollar, tax credits, and our beautiful winters, and we know how to work in this. Yeah. And it's awesome. I can't complain. I mean, I've been on the other side of work years ago, so it's nice to work. It's nice to entertain people. It's nice for people to really enjoy what you do. Even if you get a miss, you still watch the conversation, because I'm as curious as everyone as to how they get received, because you make something in a bubble and then it gets out there and either people love it or sometimes don't like it, which is okay too, because I still got paid.
Right. I know, but I kind of love that you want to hear how people receive it. You know, we always enjoy these movies, and I always like when there's kind of something fun that comes to it. In these movies, you know, some of our favorite things to do is look for some Easter eggs or some content that will be out there. We're dancing around things a little bit, but if we were watching this week, is there anything we could look for in a movie?
In this week, okay, so if you watch this past week, a certain house was used as a mechanic shop that was used in Record Breaking Christmas.
Wait, what? Oh, that's fun.
Okay.
Yeah. So the record that they did, the balloon animal on the car, which was a giant Carvana ad.
Yep.
And which I just saw in a major motion picture too. It was crazy.
Wow.
Another Carvana ad. I was like, oh, they had to do what we did. I wonder if the director felt as weird about it as I did. The woman right to my front door.
I want to talk about that in a second. I really do, because I have a question. But
But yeah,
finish
same
telling us
location
your
there.
Easter egg.
Same location, and I just reused it in a summer movie. But because one had snow, one didn't have snow, one we went inside, and the other one we didn't go inside. Like you can't really tell.
Huh. Love that.
Yeah,
Give us a
Yeah.
different view all the time.
that's
Different point.
the
Good.
hope.
And
I mean,
you're already familiar with the location, so that must make it like a little easier.
oh, what was the other one? I think it was the same movie. Yes, so same movie that was just on. If
Yep.
people got to do a Google Web, or am I allowed to talk about things? It's already passed, so maybe it's not. I don't know. Anyhow, so that movie had a hero house that will also be in my bigger Lifetime movie.
Okay.
Oh,
But
Okay.
they shot
I'm
differently
excited
as
about
well.
your Lifetime movie because I really, I grew up watching Tia on TV.
Same here, sister.
Of
Right.
course,
Right.
every week. Yes.
Yeah, right after school, everything. So no, it's
Yep.
it was hilarious. Like, you often get to work with different actors, but not always actors you necessarily grew up with. And so
Yeah.
when she came in, I was like, oh, okay. You do the formalities, you have the coffee. And eventually she just started laughing at me. She's like, you are like the hardest working director I've ever seen. You're moving lights, you're moving carpets, you're moving sofas. I'm like, I only get a certain amount of time to make these movies. I want to make sure they shine. So, upside, downside, we're non-union, so I'm not taking anybody's job away, which is good. But the upside is, like, if it saves my guys 15 minutes or somebody else is already running for something else and I see something that can be done, I'm going to do it because it allows my actors another take. It allows us to go home 15 minutes earlier. There's upside. And then the downside is you don't want to also be taken advantage of or anything else where it's just assumed this is how the game goes. But no, as for the product, though, it's really nice to, again, make stuff that people... Christmas movies are like the last bastion of linear TV, I think.
Right. That Lifetime movie, though, not only does it have Tia in it, so we do some serious baking at watch a lot of baking things. The Cake Boss is
the Cake Boss, Buddy Velastro. He was our guest star and a big piece of the movie. And then I went to New Jersey for this one to go shoot a day with him.
Amazing.
So fun. So
we shot in his like crazy warehouse, and we knew his reality show, his new show, I think got announced now, so it's okay too.
Yep.
They were going to be filming, but we were told they're, background, we do our thing, and they're just observing. It'll just be a little segment of his episode.
Mm-hmm.
And then we landed, and they mic'd me up and followed me around and have me doing stand-up. So I guess I don't know what the editing's going to look like. I have no idea if I'll make the cut, but they definitely have
I'm in.
I'm going to be maybe in a show, and I think did I put a hat on? I don't know.
Okay, Buddy doesn't do anything little, so this does not surprise me at all, right?
Yes, yeah.
That's what he's known for, is being over the top, right? So
he's a character, and he's the same in person. So he might appreciate this story. There was phone calls in the movie, and he heard an actor reading the lines to Tia, because obviously he wasn't on set when we did her side of the phone call. And the guy was, because it's written very New Jersey, and so our actor, who's a trained actor, was doing a very subtle New Jersey accent. And then he looked at his wife when we were in New Jersey, because he had to hear it to realize what he was doing. He goes, I don't really sound like that, do I? And then we were like, no.
No, you sound way more.
Way more authentic. You are authentic. You're from New Jersey.
New Jersey. His accent's so strong. He's like
very strong.
There's
no mistaking what street he's from.
Yes. It's always hard to hear the accent that you're so used to, like on TV. Like, yeah.
100%.
So
listen, we get told we have crazy accents by some of the, and then it gets really bizarre, because if you say American general accent, which is what everybody wants, general to where? Minnesota, New Jersey.
We all have different ones.
And I'm like, everywhere is different. So I'm like, if somebody says, oh, that sounds so Canadian, I'm like, Could that not be northern Minnesota?
Right. Oh, northern Minnesota, I think is thicker than Canada. We get up there, and I love being in some tiny little diner, and it will be just like the movie Fargo is not strong enough, and they're just chatting with each other. It's amazing.
If you've seen the trailer for one of my more recent upcoming movies, there's a trailer line that I'm surprised they didn't correct. The actress is lovely. It was one of her earliest professional jobs, but it's a specific question that gets asked in the trailer. I'm like, oh, not a question, I guess a statement. I'm like, oh, that movie was filmed in Newfoundland. I was like, that was very Newfoundland.
Came out real strong.
Oh yeah, that might as well be northern Minnesota.
Oh yeah. You get up along the shore there. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We got
you betcha. It's gonna come out strong and hard and
in Ottawa, that accent's the Ottawa Valley. Like that's the valley, and we have a very similar drawn out. Oh yeah, we're going to the lake today, and
in Minnesota, it magnifies as you go north. It just really you get up into.
I love the whole panache of accents. I think Europeans accept it all. They'll do a movie with a British cop and their partner's German. Nobody cares. It's here. We're very North American centric and very American centric audience, which is, it's a challenge for us, but it also helps our guys level up and pro so that they are more malleable to obviously the bigger market that they want to break into.
Right.
So it's just an interesting sidebar there. But no, that was
it is so interesting.
The reality TV aspect was that little secret. Now I feel like it wasn't as
so
I think that's fun. Like, will we maybe get to see you directing?
I think you'll definitely get to see me directing and us celebrating his final shot. But they had me no spoilers, walking through the bakery looking for him, and it was like a storyline.
Okay, like I said, they don't.
They do everything reality.
Yeah. I started watching Buddy when he very first started. So, I'm very interested.
His wife makes a little cameo.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah. So in your movie or in his episode?
No, my movie.
Your movie.
And his episode, because they filmed both.
Okay, that's super fun. Well, his wife is beautiful, and
she's lovely too.
Yeah, she's lovely, and has been on his show many times, so people will recognize her.
His son was there too, possibly the next Buddy. I mean,
how old is he now, man? He was tiny when they.
I don't know. I think he's late teens or 20 or something like that.
Something like that.
But it's a really involved movie. So that is the surprise casting, and he came up here, and then we went down there, and it's a fun movie. It was very challenging. I mean, obviously, I think Lifetime am I allowed to say the name, or are we staying?
I think so. Yeah.
I
think you can say it.
For Lifetime,
it's called Yes. It's public, so it's all over the internet. Yes, Chef Christmas, and so we make these movies in the same 14, 15-day schedules, but I think there was 20 cooking scenes. And I had
that's a lot of cooking scenes.
I had to remind the execs, I'm like, this dialogue scene can take 2.5 hours on its own. And then you throw in a before prep cook, a cooking, and then a post cook. I'm like, you can add 2.5, 3 hours of work just without getting any extra material.
Right.
So it was one of those things where we had to have food pre-cooked and this, whereas we're not set up like a food show to have offset, a full chef kitchen going, then bring us out a plate and just do it. And so as sometimes the stuff was cooking just in the other room, was going anyhow. It was
that's crazy.
It was an extra absurdity to making these so fast. That was a great value add in the movie, but when you're trying to logistically figure out how to make a day, how to make sure you capture everything you need to. It was wow.
I think it's so interesting just how much goes into these. We call them little movies, but they're really not little. You're doing a lot of work behind the scenes in a small amount of time.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible.
It's really fun because I talked, my cinematographer was making a theatrical feature film, and he was talking to one of the collaborators. They're like, "Oh, it'd be fun to make one of these. We'll just, pound it out on the weekend type thing." And then the producer stepped in and said, "I've done both." in many ways, these are actually harder because you have shorter amount of time. They're not necessarily whatever you want to do. You have to work within the confines of the structure. They're producer driven. a shorter amount of time with actors. And so it's like really having to have your ship put together in 3 weeks, then you shoot in 3 weeks, and it's gone.
Right.
And
It's like so many moving pieces, and they have to like mesh immediately.
Yeah. The big ones obviously being casting and locations, but even within that, like, oh, I only have 3 pages in this kitchen, but then I got to go across town to this lake. Like, should we find a kitchen closer to that lake, or do we want to lose an hour of our 12-hour day driving? Like, there's every decision has an impact on the rest of the day, and then therefore on how many takes you can do and how fast you can get up to set up. It's an hour to load the truck, an hour to unload it. And so every time you move, you potentially make a choice that could positively or impact or negatively impact your decision making. And my job is strictly making decisions. And so it's a privilege.
Put it that way. That's crazy. To move along like that. What's your favorite thing about filming these movies like this, though? Like, there's I was just gonna say, actually, I love that kind of like driven.
Yeah.
Right.
I've been home now for a month and a half since my last project, and my cortisol is just starting to neutralize in me. I'm tailor-made for making movies now. I feel like I did 7 movies last year, 4 this year, 6 the year before. Like, I've just always been in and out of production that I wake up and it's all about efficiencies. Like, efficiencies, solving problems, pre-looking ahead at problems. Because I know in my head, if I can solve that, I might have another take on my actors. But in your real life, it's like sometimes life is just life, and it takes a second to come back down to normal and not be in the every decision has an impact mode. I've sat on my sofa more than I've ever sat on my sofa since before I was employed.
But you know, I when I talk to people about making these, I work in a situation that is very on or very off, and so people who are driven to that stay in those types of jobs, and if you're not, you're out, right?
Yeah. No, I've had people going, oh, I love it, but I can't do those hours. I'm like, I wish I had 2 more hours in a day.
Same.
Like, if I had 2 more, I could take a bigger shot, fill it with more extras, or correct that one wrong decision that I wish I could have reimagined, but at that moment it made the most sense. Right. And but my poor crew, I mean, people almost half my age now, like, I'm tired. I'm like, what do you mean? This is great. I'm made for this.
Yeah, what do you mean you're tired? Let's go.
Yeah, and by the way, this is like one of the hardest working crews in the business, but they're humans at the end of the day.
Right.
And, I've been told maybe I'm not.
But sometimes that's what drives you. That's what gives you motivation, is seeing that end, and then the project comes to an end, then you need another one.
Need another one, then you got to sneak a view at the tweets a couple times just to make sure you're not missing the mark.
That brings me back to you mentioned you like to kind of follow the conversation. Is that how you do it? Are you on Twitter kind of watching?
Yeah, or X or Twitter or whatever. Yeah,
whatever it's called. No one calls it X.
Yeah, I know.
You can change the name.
X, sorry.
Is it okay if my dog joins the conversation?
Of course.
Lenny, sorry, he was scratching at my leg. I think he was on last time too. I don't know.
Yeah. This is a puppy friendly podcast for sure. What's your puppy's name?
I feel like I'm gonna have a kid come through any minute too.
This is Leonard for sure.
Hi, Lenny.
Leonard.
Who's that?
Hi, Lenny. Lenny's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I just want.
He's a lap dog that's probably a little bit too big to be a lap dog.
I have one of those. Yes.
So you were asking me, how I check? Yeah, Twitter.
Yeah.
I take a look. I follow the hashtag. I know they have some super tweeters that always tweet about these. And then there's, especially when you make one of the thrillers, which I also do on top of Christmas movies.
Yeah.
You get people that just tune in to tweet about the absurdities of these television movie thrillers. And those are I like them all, even when they're
I was just going to say, actually, I kind of love that kind of sass and stuff. Like, it's.
I love it. It's engagement. You know what I mean?
We might have been known for doing some sass too. So
you're not making a Lifetime thriller to actually put you on the edge of your toes. These are, don't go in the room, turn around, hang up, keep walking.
Let's quick go hide in the little shed so we're blocked in, and there's 30 chainsaws in there.
This movie could have been a short if the person just made the right decision at minute 7.
But they make 0 right decisions or right
It's real. But when people get passionate about the decision. In fairness, they may get passionate about the decision making in Christmas movies too. And with this past one, I noticed. So last year, Noel Next Door, we got a lot of praise for breaking some Hallmark taboos.
Yeah.
Menstruation, having disability featured in the film.
Yep.
And that was great. This one, the story structure and the characters were a little bit pricklier than, and so I noticed some feedback on not being necessarily as off the bat likable, but the people that stuck it out said, but I like that because the story arc was bigger. Whereas sometimes these movies go from Pleasantville to more Pleasantville.
Right.
Whereas this one had some genuine internal conflict and manifested in actual words and put downs that might not be Hallmark for Hallmark.
Right.
But I think the overall perspective has been that I the ones I've read, and I also read the other ones, so I know both sides, is that it made it more human.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, holidays don't always bring out your prettiest times.
Sarah and I love a good push-pull. So we love that, like, push-pull back and forth.
Yeah.
Like, we want something that's pulling you together, but there's usually a push if you're going to do that, too. So if everything's like, this is kind of boring, you need to see the ranges.
Then you tune out, right? You start doing your dishes while it's on.
And the old model was designed for that. Like, I've heard executives talk about it so that you could do your laundry, fold it, turn back, look back at the TV, you know exactly where you are. Same with the thrillers. They over-explain after they come back from a commercial break because they're like, we could have missed somebody. I'm like, God forbid we miss somebody.
They can rewind nowadays. You know, everyone's got to rewind.
No, so I constantly push for less exposition, more conflict. Because as actors like it too, they want to play the conflict because they know where they're going.
Right.
And they really appreciate that. Whereas people get worried about starting them too far apart. Like, I'm like, listen. Anybody who's tuning in knows where we're going to land.
Right. So, I want to see the story to get there. That's what
gets there.
Exactly.
I'm all about the journey. So,
The
so that
journey.
doesn't mean we want unlikable people. That doesn't mean we don't want to relate to them. That doesn't mean we don't want to be attracted to them.
Right.
It just, to me, means that a little bit more leeway. And I think that's what Hallmark's been and Lifetime have been doing more of.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think they're trying to also, you know, stay up with the streamers, which is also affecting people's expectations now, which go even farther to the other side. And I think it's a push-pull in the industry, and I like where it's going, and I hope it keeps doing that.
We enjoy that actually a lot. So we also enjoy that a lot of the people that make these romantic dramas movies also make thrillers. It's kind of like one of our favorite things.
It's the best thing.
I've had numerous of my Hallmark stars wink and nod to me saying, because I warned them, I'm like, you know, the thrillers are often a lot lower budgets, and specifically our stars get paid a lot less. So like, I'd come to a Max McGuire thriller.
No, because they want to, because it's interesting, because they want to do something that will be a little different. We kind of love that.
Who was it that we had on that? Like, it was her dream to do one of those.
Who did we have on there? Like, I totally want to do one of those like thrillers. Who was that? Susie?
No, I don't think
I can't remember, but it was just, it's kind of interesting.
If you have the name, we'll look them up, because I'm like, I'm doing one that I start one.
It'll come to me as we talk, and I'll let you know.
Funny.
It's kind of interesting how many want to do it. I'm not surprised that actors tell you I
know
want to do
it's a real stretch. Whereas, you know, when they did their first drama class, I took drama class. Everybody likes playing the drama. I want to yell and cry and go hard at something. And you know, for a long time, these rom-coms have been a little bit more in the middle of the emotional spectrum, and so they want to play the edges. And then they want to get bloody and have something different on the resume. Like, I still like doing them, even though they are lower budget, because you get to play in the dark, you get to play in the shadow. You don't have to worry about twinkle lights.
So many twinkle lights.
You don't have to worry about that. I saw somebody was discussing the Christmas decor in this one kitchen on one of the first movies this year, and they had like 7 in the one frame. And they're like, whose house has 7 trees in it?
Well, not in one frame, for sure, right?
Well, no, this one had it in a frame.
I know. Some of these are like the over-the-top decorating. I think one of the articles, like, even was like, which of these had over-the-top decorating?
Yeah.
I saw that. Now, Max, you mentioned earlier about like product placement, advertisements.
Oh, yes.
So and we've been noticing that more So is
Right.
this like kind of a new thing that's happening that you're expected to include, or tell us a little bit
Expected
about that?
to or contracted to?
Well,
Yeah.
That one was specific last year. I had never had one as direct as that. Oftentimes we have to cover labels, even though it's actually legal to show an Apple computer. It's legal to
Right.
show a car. Oftentimes the networks want the producers to cover them because they have different clients that advertise with them.
Right.
And so it's not that it's illegal or it's a trademark issue. It's just they don't want to insult their client. GM's buying all the spots, and then we got a Ford thing driving right in the camera.
Right.
And so I think that's a preference thing. I happen to also be on the board of Artist Legal Services Ottawa, where we talk about copyright and trademark and everything. So I'm always pushing back on the producer saying, this is not ill use of a trademark. So if you want to say it's because you have an advertiser, fine. But if you're telling me you think it's illegal to use, I'm like, I'm letting you know it's not. I'm not a lawyer, but it's not illegal.
Right.
As for the actual advertising, I'm sure we've all seen these Carvana plugs. Record Breaking Christmas had one. And
Yep.
so what I was, when I talk to the advertising people, because they have network calls, and though it's not an advertisement, it's a value add for
Okay.
people that might already be doing advertising with them. And then they say, hey, we can
Add value.
do some add value. I think all linear TV is trying to figure out how to make it work, because we all love delivering these movies linearly. But the truth is, as subscribers unplug and go to networks, they got to sell advertising space in order to pay our producer, in order to pay us, in order to pay our actors, in order to have these conversations. And so I think people are just trying to figure out how to maximize what might have been lost revenue or bring in new revenue. And so how you adopt it is really the push-pull as a filmmaker. Do I wish we got to be a bit more smooth with some things?
Yeah.
Always. But sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, you make it work. I mean, we noticed in Hallmark's very first movie there was very serious product placement.
Oh,
so.
really? I didn't see
Bauer.
it.
Yeah, Bauer Hockey was.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, that makes sense. It was the hockey movie with Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of
It
movies.
was very interesting to see it so blatantly. It was like, I don't know that I've ever seen product placement quite so blatant.
Fascinating, yeah, something like that. It might make sense. I thought we might have more opportunity with the cooking movie that wasn't done. But in essence, instead of doing product, they did cross promotion with networks.
Okay, great. Which is huge, because to draw on between the two networks is actually, that's a great connection.
Well, I mean, Buddy has like 4 million followers on Instagram. I think Tia has like 14. If we can get a fraction of them, I don't know how many of them are Christmas movie fans and everything else, but again, it raises awareness and drives some valuable viewers back to our screens. And so, and to me, it's all about getting to keep doing what we all love doing.
Right.
And so if people keep liking the movies, somebody keeps paying for advertisements, and that means Max and Lenny keep eating.
That's right. We like to watch them. So if somebody has to carry around a Best Buy bag, all movie, like
a Target bag, it's on the table.
Yeah.
We've seen it's one of the things we like notice is like product placement, because it hasn't been super common, but we've seen it more recently. And so that's like things that we notice. We like those. We like Easter eggs too. So it's just interesting.
You know what? It was that movie Old Dads, Bill Burr's movie, which questionable on content, but it was Bobby Cannavale talked directly about the car. And so it was literally, I was like, that line we said in my movie. I was like, so we said that in Record Breaking Christmas. So it must be part of the package.
Part of the package. Yeah. Huh. Okay. That is so interesting.
Yeah.
That is really interesting. Like just how that would be woven back and forth like that.
In the comments, Sheila is wondering if have you ever had a like a product placement CGI'd into your movie? Like after?
No, I haven't. I think we've had CGI'd out. No, I maybe it's just the movies I'm making, or maybe there's not as many product opportunities, but no, I haven't had that. Now we regularly signage. We try to get whatever local business we're shooting in to buy in, just because I'd rather use your branding. Two things. Yeah. I mean, one, nobody knows that this isn't in Chicago, but of course you can Google and find out there isn't that coffee shop in Chicago. Right. But to the people that do know here, it's something fun for them to point their finger at and be like, hey, I was in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love that actually, and I love seeing those kind of places you can stop at if you're around.
Yeah,
For a
well,
movie.
Ottawa has, I think, a tourist map for Hallmark and Christmas movies, and I know we were made fun of on Saturday Night Live a few years ago, and
Right. For sure. Saturday Night Live made fun again last weekend.
yeah,
Yeah, they were like Hallmark goes horror or something like that.
yeah,
And I
I
was
think
like,
they did
that's
all,
what
yeah.
I was laughing so hard. I'm like, do they actually know that these people make both these movies?
We do both sides. I'm a
Yep.
versatile filmmaker, if you ask me and my dog.
I love it. Do you want to play a game with us?
I would love to. Do I need my hands, or do I put Lenny down, or what do I do?
No, you're fine.
No.
Lenny can play too.
It's more of an answer the questions. It's our
Okay.
naughty, it's our buttons and unbuttons, but naughty
Okay.
or nice list. The naughty or nice list.
Okay.
Yeah. Should I try to share the screen, or should we
Just go. I thought you didn't like the way it was working.
All right, you
We
go
had a
first then.
streamer.
We'll figure it out next time. Okay, Julie, go ahead, lead us off.
Are we starting with the nice list? Okay. All right. If you had to live in one holiday movie, which one would it be?
You go Midnight at the Magnolia.
Midnight. I don't even know that.
Wasn't that Natalie Hall, right?
That was Natalie Hall and Evan Williams. It was on
Okay.
Netflix.
On Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Ottawa doubled as Chicago. Was
Okay.
very poppy, current, a little bit more stylized of a movie. And
Did you direct that one, Max?
I did.
I thought so. Okay.
I had my fingerprints all over it.
Yep.
That was a top 10 worldwide Netflix movie.
It was
Yeah.
it was adorable. Yeah.
Okay. Now
They-
I need to go find that.
You've
they
never
were
seen
really
it.
lovely. Those two together, and the production and everything turned out really well. We
Yeah.
shot a scene of that in my first house with my roommate.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
In fact, the opening, his house is my house. We pretended
now
it
I
was
feel
an
like
apartment
rewatching
building.
Now I
it.
need to watch.
Yeah.
I'll be like, that's Max's house.
Creepy story on that, because I also shot 2 thrillers there, and one with a woman that was being held hostage in a basement, tied to a bed by her creepy stalker. And we had a guy show up at the house. My roommate opened the door, and he goes, "I want to see. There's a girl in the basement." He's like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "I saw this in a movie." He goes, "Oh, my roommate makes movies. It's not real." He goes, "No, I want to see it." And he got creepy. He demanded to see the basement. Obviously, we said walk along, but he goes, "We're not using this house in movies anymore." And then a year later, I came back and said, "What about a Christmas movie?" And it was Midnight at the Magnolia.
Less creepy.
In this economy, you
Fun.
gotta pay your bills.
I
No.
love that. That's a great story. Now I need to watch that movie
I know.
for sure. For sure.
Maybe I'll watch it tonight. We'll see. Now we got to find it. Okay, off of the naughty list, unbuttoned list. What is the most annoying part of the holidays?
It's not really annoying. It's actually flattering. Is after you've posted your holiday movies, your 3 holiday movies a year, getting asked by everybody when your holiday movies are on. I'm like, all you gotta do is follow
I
me
think
Instagram.
that's just a Max problem. Yeah.
So you know what it is? I grew up in lucky to grow up in a nuclear family where we always had our Christmas dinner tradition, and then juggling your partner's Christmas traditions with yours.
I'm with you. Yeah.
We have young adult children, and trying to juggle everybody's extended stuff, and then add into it that I work in a hospital, so I work every other holiday. It's whoa.
Well, same with my wife. She works in a hospital, and it's seniority driven based on time off, and the upside is she's not old yet. The downside is she's not old yet.
Yeah, no, I'm old, and I've been there forever, but it's every other holiday because small department. So it is what it is, and so the juggling it's like my biggest stressor actually. Yeah,
it adds a little bit of exactly stress to what is otherwise a great time. So those 2 things.
Okay, love that. Okay. Okay, if you were Santa's elf, you were making a movie with elves in it, what would your Santa elf name be?
Is this one of those, like, I was going to say your first dog and your second street
No,
of
you
your
get to
house?
make it up completely.
Mine would be Barkley Masters.
Barkley Masters.
Okay. Love it.
Love it. And then what kind of movie would this elf movie be then? Like,
With a name like that.
yeah.
I,
Dogs.
if I could aim for 1/100th of the original Elf movie, I would, it'd be the movie Elf with dogs.
Elf with
Okay,
dogs.
the
There
movie
you go.
that would Candy King.
Yeah. He just,
Like, there's a lot of elf quoting that happens at this household.
he's so good. Like, what a quintessentially awesome Christmas movie.
My introverted daughter can quote just about everything out of that movie. She
Awesome.
is in love.
That's my sisters and I with Dumb and Dumber, and I just.
As you
Oh,
should.
they filmed that where I live. Yes.
Oh, really? Of
You
course,
can see
yeah.
it,
That's all you see.
Yeah.
We're all in the biz.
Something like that.
I think, what did we have last? Good Burger 2.
Oh,
Good Burger 2 was filmed here. Yeah.
okay. I didn't have any movie with like that here. I got a lot of Christmas movies.
You've got to do one in Rhode Island.
I would love to. Our production team made one, I think there or somewhere near there. Was there a big Netflix one done there with the guy from This Is Us in the past couple of years?
Oh,
Probably.
It
but
might
I
have
don't.
been Connecticut. It might have been
Might have been
Connecticut.
Connecticut. Close enough.
But that was like, I was like, why am I not on this $10 million Netflix
Right.
Christmas movie?
was it Sterling Brown, or was it the guy that played Kevin?
It was Justin Hartley.
Justin.
Oh, yeah.
Lenny,
Kevin.
come here. Sorry, I
Oh,
don't know.
and
I have the quietest dog in the world, and he never barks.
Yeah,
that's okay. Something caught his attention.
we just don't even care. Like,
What's the movie I'm thinking? Oh, Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus.
oh,
2.
Focus Pocus. Yes.
I'm coming.
The most. Yeah, Sarah had Hocus Pocus filmed by her.
Wow. Nice.
It was fun to see the set. Okay. Next one on the naughty list. If you had to tattoo something holiday related, what would it be?
Naughty. Right across my chest and like
Just say
just
naughty.
writing.
Like in that big way.
Yeah, block letters, curly, like a Christmas
Like
movie
the
title.
Sublime CD, you know what I'm talking
Could
about?
it be like the whole
Yeah.
like naughty list, and then your name is number
Yeah,
one
it
on it
was me and then my dog Lenny.
together on the naughty list. That's the best answer ever.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah. If you could create a holiday, just make one up.
Yeah,
What would your holiday be?
doggy daycare day.
Yeah, doggy daycare day. That's
Just take your dog to work. Do whatever you want.
take your dog everywhere. We have
Yeah.
dogs at my work, so that's
At the hospital?
yeah. They come visit the kids.
Oh, of course.
Okay, we have
You're better
giant,
human than me. I just make movies.
we have giant Great Danes that come into the ICU. They're like massive.
They can see over the bed. That's perfect.
Yeah.
And they're so good with the kids. And one is literally black and white like a cow, and she's just
Wonderful.
giant. And you're like, oh my gosh,
What
there's
a great, like, it just makes, speaking for somebody who's been in the hospital a lot, it just makes life a lot better.
yeah, no, for
You know,
sure.
it's just-
And that's what they're there for, distraction, right? So
yeah, I mean,
anyone
this
who's-
guy is so spoiled as the son of a filmmaker and loving family, extended family. Like, just when it comes to set, people like stop working with if my wife comes by or anything else, like it just stops. It's like, oh, the day restarted after. Like you forgot everything before.
right? Because
Forget
now
all the
the puppy
stress.
came.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a director thing that everyone has to have a puppy? I'm pretty sure that all the directors we've had on have
I
puppies,
think we just recognize what's really great about life.
right? Okay,
And
ever
it's too busy to have kids. So we have
ever been in one of your movies? Lenny,
My
ever been?
dog- my dog has a very big fear of metal sounds, like in cars and like the hiss of a bus. Like he was the runt of the dog litter he came from. And so he was a very scared pup. And the fact that he's gotten so confident in the house is like, we're so proud of him. But outside of the world, he really just wants to be with us. And so I wish, because I had a movie where I needed a pup, I was like, it should be him. But I was like, on the other hand, no.
No. Yeah, no.
Yeah. Well, I have a movie with a dog coming out very shortly.
Yes, you
Want to
do.
Google.
So soon this week, tomorrow.
This week.
Tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow.
Yeah, we did post a trailer up on our Instagram site, and that's super interesting. Like to see.
Watch carefully for this dog's poor performance. He wasn't a movie dog, really. He actually had a cameo. He had a small role in last summer's. What was that one about the truth about dog dating or something like that? It was with Corey Sevier and Becky.
Yeah.
Dog Lover's Guide to Dating.
Yep.
And he had a small role in that. And I happen to have to go direct 2 days of that movie because the director got COVID. So I actually did 2 guest directing days on that movie in a year that I made 7 movies. And so
crazy.
It was insane. I was in prep on Most Colorful Christmas. Or no, something else. I was in prep on a movie, and then on week 2, and they're like, hey, you got to go rescue. And so I helped out. I talked to the director overnight, found out what he wanted, tried my best to give him what he was going for, and then came home right back. I was editing a movie at night, shooting in the daytime, and prepping mine in between.
That's crazy.
I was on 3 movies in one day for a week.
I feel like maybe we talked to you around that time.
Yeah, maybe. I feel like it's probably it's very traumatizing, so I must want to keep telling the story. All to say, this dog was in that movie, and now he's the star of our movie. His name's Oliver. Somebody, maybe one of your listeners, should make an Instagram page for Oliver and then send it back to the owners, because after tomorrow night, this dog's going to be getting free food and toys and everything else, because he's like a very big piece of this movie.
Okay. Oliver.
And how was it to do direct Oliver?
It's really interesting. They say don't work with dogs and children.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah. Everyone should do both.
Animals and children. Yeah. It was amazing because I love having the dog there, but it was also tough. I mean, they're not used to these hours. This wasn't a movie dog like the show Hudson and Rex out in Newfoundland, ironically. And he was awesome. We gave him a private room like an actor that he could go relax in. But at the end of the day, he went from being like just a really well-trained house dog to a movie star, which is long hours, lots of people, having to repeat your actions. You might get lucky once, but then you got to do it again and again and again and again and again and again. And so keeping him interested, which is always the challenge with animals and children, by the way. And it is a similar approach. It's reward-driven, and then I know he's happy to go home at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'm going to throw it out there. One of your actors is Amber Marshall.
I was going to say that too.
With animals and children. That is her.
And exactly. And so it's really nice to have her on it because she was so comfortable and confident with the animal as well.
Yeah. Like she lives on a ranch.
She literally, when we were trying to book her, we couldn't get a hold of her because she was offline ranching. Well, do we have,
as you should be.
Do we have an actor or not? I'm sitting in Newfoundland, and this whole, would be perfect for it. And luckily, our first choice is who took it. But at some point in the prep period, you get to a point where you need a yes or no because you got to move on.
Yeah,
right.
So you got to make another offer. You give them 24 hours, and then you negotiate. So your next actor could take you 3 or 4 days. Then you're into week 2, and then if you don't have them by week 2, you start really sweating if you're trying to close an actor on week 3.
We were talking with the director when it was like Friday night. They were filming Monday morning, and they were still like trying to nail down what was happening.
You're in trouble when that happens. Something happened along the way.
Yeah,
either a buyer or a disagreement on who, or you had somebody lined up, but something came up. Because actors are humans. Death in the family, everything else, and we've had people had to back out, and technically they're under contract, but you're not going to enforce it. Because we're humans.
Right.
Force majeure, like COVID, when they shut down production, and that uprooted half a dozen productions that were in the middle of shooting. And it's been a crazy era of filmmaking.
Right.
Yeah.
It just is what it is.
Yeah.
It's a wonder. I mean, listen, as I said, I've never made more movies, so I'm knocking on wood that the trend continues, and hopefully viewers enjoy them.
I think it will. I think it will. All right, Julie, go ahead because I think we lost track. Pick a next.
I'm like, are we on the nice list? Are we on the naughty
I don't
list?
know. Just
It was
pick one.
naughty. Tattoos was the last one.
All right.
Right.
Thanks, Max.
So we're back to the nice list, right? Okay. If you were Santa, what cookies do you want on your plate?
Oh, my mother-in-law makes an amazing, like extra sugared chocolate chip cookie that melts and crisps, but is still chewy. Like a thin chocolate chip cookie that's like almost like brown sugary sweet.
Okay,
That's
because
just
it probably
amazing.
does have brown sugar in it. That
Yeah,
sounds
it caramelizes a bit and it's really skinny but still soft.
that sounds delicious, actually.
does.
Yeah, it's awesome. She
That's
would
what
make
you
them
want
for
on your
me.
plate.
So there's a tradition with Italian weddings where the aunts and family bake, and they literally made 4,000 cookies for our wedding. They
Right.
had 220 guests.
Italian
So
wedding cookies. It's literally the name of a cookie.
there you go. And so, but these are all varieties. They don't normally make these
Yep.
ones, but she made those ones for me.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Because you can say, I want those. So you had those at your wedding. That seems absolutely perfect.
Turns out you have a say when it's your wedding.
Yeah. Turns out you
Like
have a
the only
say.
time you have a say.
Yeah. That was the last time I had
Yeah.
a say.
I love that though because it makes
That's
it
a fun set.
it makes it personal too, and it's like
Yeah.
what you want there.
We're gonna make a movie called The Last Time I Had a Say.
It was over a cookie.
Yeah, exactly. And that is it's all about a cookie.
Yeah, no, but I kind of love that answer. That like it's perfect. My daughter got married a year ago, and she doesn't like cake, so she was like,
Perfect.
"Yeah, it's just like I'm not having cake. We'll have one cutting cake, take a picture, and then there's not gonna be cake. I don't like cake."
Yeah. Well, we had a 2 or 3 tier, but only the top piece was real. My wife's friend is a gourmet cake maker.
Yeah,
And
it's
like,
called the cutting cake. You
Yeah,
just get
yeah.
cutting-
So
you
we
take
did
pictures.
it, we ate it, you know, all that, and then everybody else got tiramisu.
Yeah.
Nice choice.
Yeah, that's all her. She's got the taste.
Yes, that's perfect. It's perfect.
It is. It's yummy. I can't even remember. My wedding was so long ago.
Can't be that long ago.
I think we've been married 17 years.
Oh,
No, we had
what's the secret then?
what's the secret to what?
17 years of happiness.
Never having a say. No, I'm kidding. Day by day. No. We have a little Italy around here in Providence.
Yeah.
So we got to go to like the real Italian, the bakery my grandmother grew up going to when, growing up. So that was fun. So that
Very
was our wedding
cool.
cake.
When Buddy Velasco's giant picture.
Production company there.
Yes. He's got a studio, baking, and offices, everything.
Love it. Shallows. That's what it's sorry, it just came to me. I think they closed now, but it was sad because it was delicious.
Oh.
I'm not a cake person.
Not a cake person. The best thing about ours is I had the popcorn cart come out late. This is a Midwest wedding. Everybody stays to dance, so
you got to do it.
it's like the popcorn cart, the snacks, all out.
That's fun.
That was before anybody did that, so everybody people still remember that, and that was
just did a compilation of Hallmark weddings being projected on the wall.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, throwing your own wedding after putting out a million Hallmark weddings.
I'm lucky. I've only had to do a few weddings because they're always so complicated. Because as you know, coverage is a choice. Do I show everything, or do you just focus on the couple? You want to get all the meat and the details that you put so much effort into building. And then in the movie, it's a 2-minute scene with the I do and a kiss. So, plus 3 shots of close-ups of people going like this.
looking at each other.
Yeah, that was us 30 years ago, honey.
That's funny.
Yeah, we.
All right. What is your back to the naughty list before we get?
Yeah,
Wait,
we're gonna
do one more naughty list one, be done.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. All right, have you ever bought somebody a gift because you really wanted it?
Oh, have I ever bought a gift? You know what? You're talking to maybe the worst gift giver. I grew up under my father, we tried buying my mother's gifts, and then she'd always return them. So we just started handing her an envelope of money. Say, get what you want. My wife will tell you I'm not a great gift giver. I'll get you whatever you want, but you got to like really
tell me.
indicate it.
Yeah.
So have I ever gotten anything that I really wanted? I don't remember what I buy as gifts. Probably everything I bought somebody's because I or I wanted it for you.
Yeah.
Wanted it for you.
Yeah, no, I'm just, you can label that tattoo naughty on me just for being a really shitty gift giver. Pardon my French.
It's kind of funny because some people are so good at giving gifts.
My wife, like she lives for gifts and wrapping and
always makes my dad was the king of gift giving.
Like the extra wrapping, like we're going to the dollar store to get a bag, to get the fluff, to get the this, like that. When a wine bottle's coming out of it, and we're never going to talk about the rest of this stuff.
But it looks so good. It looks so good.
She could design these things too. I mean, she designed her house, and she could work on the too. But I'm happy she's in the world she's in because it keeps us grounded.
Yes.
Sarah, you ever give somebody something that you wanted?
Oh, I'm sure. I think I mean, of course, I probably
feel like Julie has, and she's leading us.
Here under the parenting, this is a parenting confession.
Now that I have a 13-year-old, yes.
Yes. Yeah. So right. So, as your kids get a little bit older, so my husband is significantly older than me and is not a gamer. Like he is. His siblings are all older than him. We're very different generations because of that. And I grew up with the beginning of gaming, so I was totally a gamer. So when my oldest son, who's an engineer, was very much a gamer, he'd be like, I need this new, whatever PlayStation that's coming out this time, or whatever's the Xbox that's coming out this time, and I'd be the one like waiting in line to go get that. Do we need the Dance Revolution and the whole band to? Yes. Yeah, we do.
That's hilarious.
Absolutely.
That's a fun mom.
Yeah. My best story is that when he was in kindergarten, the Super NES was actually mine, and his friends would come over, and then they would have to ask me to play video games because it wasn't his, it was mine. It's my parenting hack.
Get them all to your house.
Yep.
That's fun though.
The way to go. Well, I was thinking more like makeup and things like that. Yeah, I buy
shoes.
Exactly.
One of my friends kept buying her daughter shoes. I think she should get these shoes.
I think what I do now is saying like, okay, we're going on a trip in January. That's our gift.
That's a great gift, though.
That's a fantastic gift.
And then we say no gifts, and then we still buy candy and all that kind of stuff.
Well, you need a little things don't count.
That's what she says. She said you got to have something to
open. Stocking stuffers
do
not count.
Stocking stuffers, okay, it's official. Stocking stuffers do not count.
No,
I'm not going to tell her that, and I'm not going to tell her to watch minute 53. That's funny. She says that to me all the time.
Yeah,
she's crawling. Is she gonna say hi? No, she's hiding.
Yeah, the stocking stuffers do not count. So you need a few stocking stuffers, couple things. But if you plan a trip, that's a great gift. Then you're a great gift.
Hold on a second. I partake in the trip. She does the planning.
Okay.
Hold on. She's gonna say hi.
All right.
She's in pajamas. She say hi.
Hi.
We saw our wedding photos.
Oh,
yeah, we were talking about.
Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much.
They're so beautiful. We were all completely there. Stunning pictures.
Thank you.
Stunning event. We were both like, wait, did you see Max's posting pictures from the wedding?
I told you I'm a planner.
Very nice though. She's a planner.
Yeah, I love that. Love that.
She could do an hour on my Christmas movies from the point of view of a partner. As all your actors, everybody else could. And, there's an Easter egg. She's in almost every movie somewhere, or her mom.
Oh, really?
That's right. You told us this
I
before.
did tell you that before.
These 3 new Christmas movies we need to look.
Okay, so Christmas by Design with Becky. Tony, were you in that one? Yes. Yeah. Oh, we can't say that out loud.
Oh yeah. Okay.
She maybe says Merry Christmas to people at the beginning of the diner scene.
Okay.
Oh, love that.
Or her, somebody else said the words, but she was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then in Yes, Chef Christmas, I don't think she made it in that one, but her mom is definitely in there.
Definitely in there.
Yeah. And then my other one, my Christmas guide, she wasn't in Newfoundland, so she couldn't.
Okay.
Oh, right.
Those photos were really fun to see
Oh
too.
my God, what a, like, I went to what they call the edge of the earth. The flat earthers believe that Cape Spear is the edge of the earth. It's the eastern edge of the planet.
And it looks like it.
Yeah.
Like,
You're
it
right.
was
It's wild. It's wild. Until you
I'm
see
like,
the
how
film.
are they filming there? It was like blowing.
Oh my, it was, well, that wind comes in so quickly that we couldn't fly in film. We often fly 12 by 12 softing lightning to soften the light or
Right.
fully dark side stuff to give you a little bit of shadow and shape. And our team was like, it's not safe to fly anything today over 4x4 that we can hold with our own hands. You can't walk away from any gear. It would
Right.
blow over lights with
Oh my God. That's
it's
crazy.
a really trying place to make a movie, to be honest, but it also gives you beautiful options.
I was just gonna say, why did you pick it? It's the beautiful options.
And it's something different, and the
Yeah.
buyers like to see something different. And
We love seeing something different. So it's
we
it's
gotta
fun
say
to get
that
that.
louder to our friends in the box seats, because I could have given you something completely different there, but I think some people want to make sure it stays within the realm of what everybody.
Oh,
I don't know. Maybe we get bored with it when it's right in that
Too
realm.
familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah, no comment.
Good thing to branch out a bit.
girl, let's branch.
No comment. Listen, there's a lot of people with different interests and can't please everybody. But no,
No, you can't.
I probably am definitely more on the frontier side of like, ooh, let's totally push this and try something else. But you know what? With that instinct, I might get burned a couple times. So
It's a journey.
I'd rather get burned trying something that you believe in, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can totally see why you'd want to try something else. So like that's how it creatively like drives people too, right?
Challenges and sharing new perspective is really what filmmaking is. It's having a point of view, right?
Right. Love that.
Even if it's a familiar story, you want to have your take on the style, on the content, and then how it's said too.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, we're excited to see all 3 of your Christmas movies. Well, we've seen 1, but 2 more coming up. And then
for those who want to ask me for the 17th time, you can just tune into my Instagram and I'll tell you when they're playing.
Why don't you tell us where we can find you on Instagram?
Oh, I was lucky. I have a very common dog name, Max, and so I'm often able to get Maxwell McGuire. So it's Instagram/Maxwell McGuire.
okay.
Perfect.
And then what about on X? Twitter.
I think I'm Maxwell McGuire there too, and on Facebook.
Okay.
So
And he's watching for your comments. So
I
say
am
some
definitely
nice stuff
looking,
about the
so you
movies.
can direct your praise and your criticism directly at me. I have thick skin and a wonderful dog that will help me cry myself to sleep.
I feel like there isn't that much that bad about Christmas.
Never. No, I'm lucky I get to work with some of the best people in the world.
This was fun. We're so glad you came back to tell us a little bit about the movies and to play our silly games. Hang on one second. We'll say goodbye off screen.
Awesome.
But thank you, everybody, for